Hello everybody, welcome back to Airships Conquer the Skies. Where we last left off, we had just done a trade treaty with them, and we had just conquered this city right here, this whole empire actually, right in here. Only thing I've done since last time is I've already put the game in play for a little bit because the game is really laggy immediately when you reload the game. So it's only been like an in-game couple of days so that the lag would subside so we can play without lag again. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work on our economy, meaning we're going to get some ports and markets up. And we're also going to repair and rebuild our defenses because, as you can see, they're all damaged or weak, which is not a good thing, especially since we're surrounded by some empires. Now we do have a lot of non-aggression pacts with these guys, and we do have some trade treaties. Well, we have research treaties too with these two. We have trade treaties with these guys and these guys as well. Our next goal, after we get our economy up, is we're going to try to take this empire completely, and maybe start on this one today. But first, a researcher from this empire wants to join our empire, bring the insights and technologies. They'll be displeased if you accept him. Now, since we're already going to be attacking them, doesn't really matter. We'll just accept him anyway. And then when we hit play, you can see that he gave us research for explosives and advanced explosives. Those are pretty good researches right here for bombs and rockets. We're not going to be going there yet. We're still going to go after Gatling guns, mainly. But it is useful to have. We're also going to, once we finish capturing the city, repair our ships so we can begin our next attack. By the way, if you're wondering what these things on the map are, they're little boosters for taking the land. So this one is worm herds. They give us more resupply speed, which is very good. Great wall ruins are pretty good too. Stone wall cost down and building costs down. And lastly, the first one we started off with was the Spire of Learning, which gives us more research speed, which is probably one of the best ones in the game. At least from my strategies, which involves getting technology really quickly. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to send our good ships to our far territory in order to protect it while we're still working on our defenses. And I'm actually going to we'll do this and then I'll get to what I was going to say. So this is from these guys. We're going to be attacking them probably in this episode, so I'm not going to go through with that. Because again, we do not want to block this area off completely from us, because we want to be able to basically take this whole section down here, make a little group, and then rush this way to take out these guys. We could also try to cross over, but we wouldn't. This would be extremely unrestful because we wouldn't have a road to it. All right, we're gonna refit our catapults, or trebuchets rather, to hopefully fix the problem we had last episode where they got stuck. So I'm gonna put another wheel, or actually put a big wheel on a. No, I'm not gonna put a small wheel. I don't know what I was thinking. Put two big wheels on the front, so it's like a big section. And then how much health these worms have? 200 versus 100. I'm thinking I might scoot this forward to have the weight more in the center of the ship. And kind of do something like this. The reason I did that is because if the worms were to die, both of them in the middle, this would just fall and be destroyed. So I put these out to the side so that it's at least connected to the first wheels. I don't know. We'll see if it does better. So now we're about to have our entire little area. These are for this guy again. We're not going to do that because we're about to attack him. That'd be kind of dumb. Okay. So our economy is now going to be pretty good for a while. we're going to start working on our defenses. Now, we don't really need to defend down here that much, especially this town, because it's not connecting us. We only really need to defend this city and this city down here, because this is our capital. We don't want to lose it. And this is a road that pretty much connects everywhere to our capital, and we don't want them to take it because it will cause unrest everywhere else, which we do not want. So I'm going to save up some money, and then I'll be back we'll build a defense. All right. We have about $900, which is pretty good. We don't need more than that for one defensive building. But I am also going to send a spy to this city because that's probably where we're going next. So we're going to start with Pinth. We also did finish the research for field stations. We will get onto that in a second. So first things first, we're going to scrap this because it's destroyed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to design our own building. Now, something I do want to show you before I start designing is if you hover over defense maintenance on something that actually has a defense, you can see local defense budget it takes away 7 from your defense cost. Meaning we probably don't want to go much more over 7 because that'll start taking away from the amount of money that the city can produce. So we're going to aim for a maintenance of about 10. And pretty much the only things that have maintenance cost are crew when it comes to defensive buildings. So for 10 maintenance, we can do 12, but I think I'm actually going to go for 10 specifically. I don't think these cost maintenance. Yeah, they don't. Okay. So that's 10 is 30 crew, which is a lot of crew for a building, for one building anyway. Because 30 crew is, well, how we can design one real fast, I guess. It is a good idea to separate out your maintenance cost into several buildings in order to not just have one, because multiple buildings can provide, like if you have a building like this, right, and they take out all the guns on one side, it's pretty easy to do that when there's only one building you have to target, versus if you have like 2 or 3 of them. But early game, since everybody's just using muskets and stuff, it doesn't really matter. There we go. $402 for this little building with 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 muskets on each side and 1 grenade on each side. So we're just gonna put those around in our little town areas like this. So this is a pretty terrible agreement. Well, we do get a town. Let's see what town we get. We get that one, and they want this capital city. So according to the AI, this is a good trade. Somehow it considers that little town and that capital city only 15 apart, and it considers this town only only 6 apart. Which we're not gonna do that. That's not a good trade for us. All right, we're gonna look at this spy. Oh. So this guy is pretty weak. So I'm gonna form up my fleet over here. I'm gonna scrap this. Put down a new little tower. Also gonna remove these autosaves. Then once this tower is built, we're going to This guy or this woman is actually really, really good because of that plus 50% income from in a city. And she gives you bureaucracy, which gives you supply depots and logistics centers. She is one of the better people, and we're gonna put her down in this city. That went from 78 to 117 income. So now we're gonna try to send them an ultimatum. I'm also gonna tell this guy to build a Black Citadel. That is what that said, wasn't it? Yeah, Black Citadel. So once that is, so that's started, we're going to, ultimatum them, war, and we're gonna see if we can get this town from them, which we probably can't. Yeah, so that's not going to work. So instead, we'll just declare war on them and take it. There's not much they're gonna be able to do about it because we, our fleet is substantially stronger. They're probably not gonna even put up a fight. Yep. Again, this guy isn't particularly good. Alright, we're gonna go design a new city defense for this city because it's pretty gone. I'm pretty sure that maintenance is 18. No, 15. So we're gonna go for roughly, we're gonna go for 2 buildings equal to, and they'll be like 10 each. So we'll probably just use these actually because we don't have any turrets. We're just gonna drop down 2 of these. There. We're about to get scientific method, so we're gonna see what we can do with these people. We can't get tribute, so we're just gonna leave them for now. Ooh, so this one's actually can be a bit of a problem. So it says your empire's merchants have been pushing their advantage in treaties with that empire, these guys, leading to multiple complaints. So if you ignore or make them apologize, your traders become weaker, meaning they have less, like they don't do as well, basically. They pull in less money. If you encourage them, that can cause you to go to war with the person or break the treaties off entirely. And it will cause your traders to also but if it works, your traders can become better and gain a bunch of income. So that's what we're gonna try. And they canceled the treaty, but it didn't make our merchants weaker, which is good. And as you can see, they have grievance towards us now, which they can use to break these treaties if they want to. Now in our capital, we're not going to delete these defenses because we want to protect our capital. You don't immediately lose them, I think, if you lose your capital, but it does make it more challenging. All right. So these guys are pretty shit defenses. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build one of these. And I'm also, oh, he's finished. Yeah, this guy's pretty bad. Okay, we're researching that. Universities are good, but I don't typically build them this early. I am going to start building us some field stations, though. We're going to send our fleet to besiege the city, which only means they're just sitting right there, meaning they can just launch an attack at any time. And once this ship gets done, we'll send them there as well. It's going to be a bit, so we're going to put another field station up. Field stations just increase your research amount, which is very useful. Because if you can get a very high research quickly, you pretty much are guaranteed a win. This is just saying that this empire apologized to our ambassador, meaning that we got reputation, they lost reputation. Reputation is just that it means empires are more or less likely to work with you. If you have low reputation, they're less likely to work with you. If you have high reputation, they're more likely to work with you. All right. So we want to destroy this airship quickly because we don't want the airship to be able to target our trebuchets. We're gonna have our trebuchets though target their trebuchet because we want it gone. It should be a rather easy fight because their defenses aren't even that good. We're just gonna tell them to focus here. Yep, it's already collapsing apart. Alright. We'll leave these guys to deal with that and the trebuchet. We'll send these guys to go deal with the defenses. Because unlike the other cities that we've attacked, these guys do not surrender once their ships are destroyed normally. You can see though the trebuchet is broken here, so we're gonna have our airships refocus on this. Their airship's almost gone, and this guy is retreating. We're gonna bring our other ships back, because this guy can just be wiped out by our trebuchets. Yep. And they're destroyed. I want to check. Okay, these people do not have... Oh, they have a defensive pact with them, but they're so far away it doesn't matter. This guy doesn't like pretty much anything. So you can see he loses loyalty every month. And he doesn't like when you construct security forces. So he's pretty hard to keep happy. We're not going to go with him. Okay. And now we're going to scrap these two. Or not scrap, discard. They weren't really worth scrapping either. And we're going to remove the rigor mortis from our thing. Because since we've gotten propellers and stuff, that's pretty useless. Same thing really with these guys now that we have tracks. So we're gonna also scrap them. Basically, the gist of doing that is you do not want to be paying for something that you're like that. Because it's so far out of date, they're just going to get destroyed. Or you could pay for something that's worth more. Now we have legs, which is good. And we're starting on our last research for the Gatling gun. So now, after we get Gatling gun, we're going to go for some more ease of mind things, some more ammo. So we want to get the fire extinguisher, so we don't have to put as many fire points. Get some more efficient storage, go for triplane, and probably after that we want to go for the bomber. Then from there, telescopes And we'll get rockets after that. Who are these even on? Oh, all the way up here. Basically, this is just a reputation thing. So I pretty much always blackmail. So because basically free money. Sometimes they refuse or get mad, but when they're so far away, it doesn't even matter. He's not going to send ships to me. Now that we got more money, I'm actually going to wait for that. And I'm going to send a spy here. We're going to look at our spy in this city. So he has rockets on his ships. And these will flatten my ships currently. Mostly just because, ooh, he even has rockets on his defenses. But yeah, these will flatten my ships because we're still using suspendium chambers with light armor. So they're just going to almost immediately explode. However, if we can get Gatling guns, or when we get Gatling guns, we'll be able to go fast enough that it won't matter. Also, this guy's coming back for another trade treaty. So this can really crash your empire if you build too many of these pleasure palaces. So if you look, they give unrest and reputation. And at the end of this age, they can kind of like, they'll crash all of the reputation back down. So I don't really build them. I didn't want to try to unearth a scandal. Okay, so we just reduced their reputation a little bit. All right. So now we have factories, Gatling guns, and Gatling skyboats. All of those really good. I'm not gonna hit her. I don't really like getting lots of these people because they have maintenance. Okay. So we're gonna go design a new ship. So we have a couple of new weapons in here, as you can see. There's the saw blade, which is obviously a melee weapon. There's the Gatling gun and the Gatling sponson. So the only difference really is the Gatling sponson has a slightly slower rate of fire and doesn't shoot as well, it doesn't have the same firing arc, but it also means, so like if you have the Gatling sponson, it is a sponson, so it goes on the outside of the ship, so you can keep placing them in a big row, versus Gatling guns require an open thing in front of them, which is cool. Alright, so for this boat, we're not really going to change that much of our formula. We're still going to have a ballista for heavy damage. And it's not really heavy damage, but it's our highest damage weapon that we currently have. It's not grenades. And I don't like using grenades because of their short range. But instead of having another ballista right below there, we're going to put our Gatling gun with a sponson. And the reason we're going like that is so that we can put our ammo storage directly below them. And feeds both of those immediately because they burn ammo. So like if we go to our ammunition graph, they're less than a second. And they burn through the ammo very, very fast. So that does mean, if you remember from last episode, it will take, if the ammo storage blows, it'll take both of them out. Isn't the best, but it's fine. We're gonna put one musket up there, down there, and one musket up there. And we're gonna put our secondary ammo storage back here. So it'll only take out the musket pretty much. And that's where our fire point will go. And you guys know the rest of this. I'll just get to work. Oh, something that I haven't touched on a lot is the guard barracks. So in this game, there are troops that can board your boat through your supply hatches and such, or through things like this where your crow's nest is above the thing so it doesn't have a protective barrier. And you need guards to prevent your boat from getting captured, pretty much. So that's what that is right there. We're just going to include a guard barracks so that we don't have the risk of getting captured. And the last thing we're going to do is this is going to be a propeller-driven craft, so it will go substantially faster than our not propeller-driven craft. As well as this game also does simulate drag, like you can see here. And we want to reduce that as much as possible. So that's why we actually want things like that. So the other thing that I haven't touched on is the armor. Pretty much at the start, I used the wood armor against most things. But as you can see, since we're going up against people with rockets now, we don't want to do that anymore, because if you look here, there's only 2 blast damage protection versus the steel wall, which has 10 blast damage protection, but the steel wall does have less health, which is kind of the trade-off. So we're going to fill with steel. And this will be our new little boat. I think it looks cool. The Locust. Alright, the next thing we're going to do now is design us a new landship. And you may be thinking to yourself that I just said in last episode that I don't really care for landships, and you'd be correct. I don't. However, they are a lot cheaper than the airships normally, and they can carry these bigger weapons easier. So what we're gonna do is we want one that is a trebuchet, like a bombardment vessel, pretty much. So we're gonna have a trebuchet, like 2 ballista, a Gatling gun, mostly for defensive purposes, because the Gatling gun can shoot at the little planes and stuff. And then a musket for, again, defensive purposes. Then off the back, we're going to put a couple of skyboats, or a few skyboats. And that is going to be pretty much our main armament. The trebuchet and everything is just a bonus, but this is really why I want the landship is for these little boats, because they are very good against things without Gatling guns or rifles or muskets. All right, this is the design that I came up with for our new bombardment slash mini aircraft carrier ship. We did lose one of the ballista in order to get the crew down, but yeah, it's still a pretty good design. All right. With the construction underway for our Locust, which is again our new airship, we will begin attacking this empire, especially since they have this Imperial fleet wreckage, meaning our ship costs will go down, which is really useful. Now, we're not going to build any landships yet, any of those new landships yet, simply because they don't have the defensive infrastructure to actually bombard. Ignore that. So we'll just stick to our airships, which should be more than capable of knocking out this little fleet. Okay, while we wait for our locusts to build, I'm gonna put up some factories. Factories give you more production, meaning they build things faster, and they also give you income, which again, this entire thing has pretty much just been me saying, oh, let's get our economy going more. So, you know, I'll always take more income because me and mine, nothing stops the economy. Except, you know, a plague. That would stop us. Thankfully, there hasn't been one yet. Alright. So now, we're gonna declare... there's nothing really useful in there. We're gonna declare war on these guys, but they are in a couple of treaties. With nobody we care about, so we'll just declare war. Oh no. We're just at war with them and them now. Okay. Why is it showing gray here? Or whatever that color is. Again, I'm a little bit colorblind. That's really weird. Anyway, we're gonna first remove that guy from there and put him on the locust. I did make a couple of changes to the locust, not any major ones, when we unlocked fire extinguishers. Basically, I just replaced that front little fire point with a couple of extinguishers. Nothing major, just to reduce the weight. So yeah. So what we're gonna do here, we'll have this locust with the Gatling guns attack him directly. This is one of those points where being above your enemy doesn't particularly matter because the rockets have a massive area that they can launch in. So we're gonna send our 2 locusts right at those ones. We're gonna take these guys around behind them. And then those top 2 are gonna go for the defensive building. Never mind. All of that was pointless planning. They immediately gave up. Talking all this stuff, and then they immediately just go, nope. Can we? If I decide to make peace, there's no way this works. Yep. Alright. They're not going to give up their capital, like, at all. But I think we could just smash right through them. Whoa. So this is a problem. Massive riots have broken out across... have broken out all over your empire. Some suggest they were initiated by these guys. But careful investigation would mean letting the riots go on. So this is basically, do you want unrest or do you want unrest and to lose reputation, but you get less unrest? We're just going to do this and lose reputation and get, but we're also losing them reputation. Now the unrest isn't going to affect us very much. It does mean our cities have more unrest, which means they make less money. But, oh, And that's bad. So spy networks grow faster, but people are pissed. So there's a lot more unrest, and we lost a bunch of reputation. So now, that's a problem. Now, Augustus, I think that's how you say her name. She now is even taking 30 unrest away, so this city is less unrest. So, our capital's at least okay. Alright, same plan as last time. So these two are going to move forward to attack those two. These two are going to go flank. And these two are going to rush across the battlefield to behind their defenses, because if we look, all their rockets are pointing forward. Meaning if we get behind them, they can't really stop us. So that's who we're going to target. And this guy... Oh, shit. I just flipped them around like a dum-dum. These guys are going to focus him. While these guys remove this guy entirely from the equation. Yep, he's gone. So these guys press forward to continue fighting him. These guys drop quickly in order to avoid that last rocket. While these guys rush forward and high to try to not get themselves killed. Okay, this guy is lost, so we're gonna bring him back before he crushes our entire ship fleet. And now we're gonna push these guys forward, and we're gonna bring this guy as quickly back as possible, so hopefully we can get to reserve him so he doesn't break down, but if we lose him, it's fine. Yeah, we're definitely losing him. Maybe not, we just won. He survived. Let's go. Yeah, we don't want that guy. That's pretty useless for us. And they're gonna take that city. Shit snacks. That's the one that we really wanted. Hang on, we're gonna... I'm gonna make peace with them for now. Actually, nah, we'll just leave them be. Alright, so this over here, if you attempt salvage, you get a big ship with an Imperial cannon, I believe, which is a really, really powerful cannon. If you propose monument, you get reputation. I'm gonna try to salvage, which worked, thankfully. Now, unfortunately, we're making $0 dues because everybody's pissed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread my fleet out to try to get as much money as possible coming back to us. Because if you put a ship in all these places, they will stop being as unrestful. Okay, so we're not gonna be able to make it there. So we're gonna give only enough to get there. I really want the repair it or restore it option. What I can do is remove some of these field stations, which give us a little bit of money back. And currently we are very far ahead of the curve on technology, so it's not going to matter that much to us to get rid of them. There we go. Now we can restore it. Where is... There it is. So now if we look, this is the ship that we got. It's honestly pretty crappy. We will have to refit it when we can, because we can't. Cause we don't have the Imperial cannon or reinforced armor braced. But it's pretty good early on. So if we look at it, the Imperial cannon, very powerful, has a big splash distance and a lot of damage. Cannons in general, good. Only problem is that there's like planes. It only has two muskets actually in their rearward. Not the best thing in the world, but it does look pretty cool. All right. That's gonna do it for today. We got a lot done. We have pretty much secured our little outcropping here, because these three are too tiny to do any real damage to us. We might get rid of him in the next episode, because I want this to get less airplane costs. So he might go bye-bye. But this guy's definitely on the list for next episode. Alright. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like if you liked, and I will see you all next time.